Welcome to your Optimal Personal Economy podcast with Justin Bennett. Your personal economy is your ability to create, protect, preserve, and utilize your wealth, your financial world. Justin will share strategies and stories to help you optimize your personal economy. Now, on to the show with Justin Bennett and co-host Matt Halloran.
Hello and welcome to another podcast with Justin Bennett. There are a lot of sayings out there about who you really want to do business with or who you want to hang out with. And what we have found consistently is that people gravitate towards people that they share likes, interests, and really are just like-minded people. And that's what we're going to talk to Justin about today, is what happens in life when you surround yourself with those like-minded people. Justin, let's dive in.
Hey, Matt, and I think that it's important to mention that if somebody's not like-minded to you, that doesn't make that person like a bad person, or that doesn't qualify your ability to step into the judgment zone and judge that person if they're not like-minded to you, right? Because the world is a unique place. So I think sometimes it's very easy for people to get confused and be like, oh, well, he doesn't think like me, he doesn't act like me, he doesn't behave like me, and then they start to draw all sorts of conclusions and judgments on that person simply because they're not similar to you, and that's not what we're talking about here. So I just want to get that out up front. I think the world's a big place. I think the world's a very opportunistic place, and we create, what we want to create. And so, like for me, I happen to really like hanging around with people that are similar to me. And oftentimes I learn about myself when I'm just hanging around people that are similar in the sense that they, love their family, they love running their business. They happen to be really into, endurance challenges. They happen to be just really, really authentic people, transparent, and it's actually very enjoyable, because what ends up happening is you spend time with them, oftentimes doing things that, like for me, running races or doing events, and then when you break from those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 day periods of spending time together, you're staying in touch, you're sending soundbite text messages, you're messaging people on social, you're calling people, you're emailing people, and you end up kind of talking the same language, and you're able to relate to one another, and it becomes a really, really enjoyable, relationship. And sometimes people start to just say, hey, listen, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? And it might be something on the business front, but just to be clear, you don't surround yourself with people that are like-minded for business motives. That would be like a byproduct. That's kind of like an ancillary thing that would come out of it. You surround yourself with like-minded people because you just plain and simple like those people, and those people like you. So don't lead with some agenda where you're going to do business together. That's oftentimes too forced. People could sniff that. That's not cool. People don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate that. I don't think other people like that. So, I do think hanging with people, whatever it is. I have friends that are big into boating, so they hang with kind of boating people and fishermen people, and, they love it. I have people that love the game of golf, and they do that as their objective. Then I'm just thinking, there's so many people that are into their cars, I don't know, they put fancy wheels and fancy things on their cars, and they go to car clubs, and they talk shop with other people that are into that, like whatever it is, just, I think it's cool to be able to control who you want to surround yourself with, and put yourself out there, insert yourself into those communities of people that are like-minded, that share similar interests, that behave in similar ways, that think in similar ways, that, just like you. Like if you look in the mirror, it's like, hey, and I think people appreciate that, and that whatever that community may be, whatever that community looks like for you, to grow it, expand it, enlarge it, So I just wanted to point that out, because I've been really, over the last, 3-4 years, been very intentional about, the people that I've been hanging with and the people that I'm surrounding myself with, because I want to surround myself with people similar to me, and it's enjoyable. I mean, I think if I can attract and they can attract, then it becomes a powerful bond versus people promoting, because it's very easy to promote. But if you do the opposite and you attract instead of promote, it becomes a really strong bond when two people come together under that guise.
You have done some pretty amazing things this year in expanding your circle and getting to know more people who you have things in common with. Could you give us an example of some of the people that you have had a chance to hang out with, and maybe some of the things that you've learned from really just opening yourself up to get to know some of these like-minded people?
Yeah, I mean, listen, people's past are just that. They're the past. And so, you start to learn about people, and it's very easy to kind of have these, perspectives when you start to learn of someone's past. But, the past doesn't 100% contribute to who they are today, nor does the future contribute 100% to who they are today. So I think the ability to accept people for who they are today, and then just kind of navigate time and the relationship from that perspective, tends to be the most favorable. And, over the last several years, I've been meeting people in New Mexico and Georgia and North Carolina, and I mean, all these different states and random places relative to where I spend most of my time in New Jersey. But distance doesn't impact. It's like you kind of pick up right where you left off when you initially met at whatever it was. In my case, a lot of these endurance challenges, wherever you kind of started to build that initial bond. So, it's really neat, because then you learn from one another, you stay in touch. I mean, I just recently had my friend from Charlotte, North Carolina, stay at our house. My family had a chance to meet him. He's one of the most incredible human beings that I just think it's so cool, and I was able to meet him at one of my endurance challenges where I, did 5 marathons in 5 states in 5 days. And, it was just random, but it's just really, really fun and enjoyable. And why not be able to work at building something special with these people?
Amen to that, brother. I love that.
It's fun. I'm going to keep having some fun. You have the option to have fun, create your own fun, or not. And so those that grab hold of what they want to do are the ones that will likely get the most fulfillment out of whatever it is that they want to grab hold of.
So in 2020, if you had any advice for people to seek out and find like-minded people to hang out with, do you have any suggestions? I mean, there are a lot of people out there, Justin, who maybe don't have the same passions that you do, but really love hearing what you're saying and would love to surround themselves with more people who they have things in common with. Do you have any suggestions for them?
I mean, I think in today's world, Matt, to identify and step into a community that's similar to you is probably one of the easiest things that somebody can do. And that's simply because of this thing called the internet. And inside of the internet is all these social platforms, and inside of social platforms are all these different groups and private groups and public groups, and then obviously inside of all of those communities they have retreats and conferences and symposiums, and I mean it's too easy to find whatever it is that you're into. If you're into boating, go to boating shows. Go to a boating show out in Las Vegas if you live on the East Coast. I don't know if there's a boating show in Las Vegas. I'm just throwing that out there. If you're into fishing, then find a pretty cool place down in Florida to go fishing. Find a good place down in California and just go fishing, and insert yourself into the community of whatever it is that's like-minded, and meet new people. If you're like-minded to that community is not going to all of a sudden push you away. I mean, you're stepping in and you can relate to one another, you can understand one another, you speak the same language, you have similar experiences, you have similar enjoyment out of the activity. So why not build on that? Don't stay isolated and stay away from the community, but rather step into the community.
Well, and I think part of it too is you have done something, and I think you've done well teaching your family this too. is you've given yourself permission to do that. So in 2020, find some people, get out, go do something, just like Justin was saying. If you're passionate about something, do some research, find some people to hang out with, because really it can truly be not only one of the greatest connections for you, both personally, but can also do some pretty unbelievable things for you spiritually and professionally. So Justin, hey, thanks for talking about this today.
Thanks, Matt. It was a blast. Look forward to our ongoing dialogue.
If you have not subscribed to the podcast, make sure you click that subscribe now button below. That way, every time Justin comes out with a new podcast, will show up directly on your listening device. And if you know somebody who needs to get out of their shell and go do something, share this podcast with them, because not only am I, but Justin's giving you permission next year in 2020 and years to come to go out, have some fun, meet some people who are like-minded, and truly take your life to the next level. So for everybody at Bennett Financial Group, this is Matt Halloran, and we'll see you on the other side of the mic very soon. Justin Bennett is a registered representative of Park Avenues Securities, LLC, or PAS. OSJ 1150 Raritan Road, Suite 201, Cranford, New Jersey, 07016. Phone number 908-709-0020. Securities products are offered through PAS, member of FINRA SIPC. Financial representative of the Guardian Life Insurance Company of America. New York, New York. PAS is an indirect wholly owned subsidiary of Guardian. Bennett Financial Group LLC is not an affiliate or a subsidiary of PAS or Guardian.